Hey guys, welcome to SmackDown Wrestling Reviews. I am your host, Boise, and we've got a packed episode for you. 1. What happened in Milwaukee with Aiden, English and Lana? We need to know. And 2. Joe kept his promise. Daddy's home. Let's find out. This is Smack Talk SmackDown Review. Hit the music. So we kicked off the show with a new show, RTruth show, the Truth Show. This is RTruth's new chat show, and his first guest tonight was Daniel Bryan. I thought this was great. I really enjoyed this segment. I thought it was going to be lame, but I really enjoyed what RTruth brings to the table. He's really grown on me since he's gone to SmackDown Live. I think the wackiness, the jokes aren't too much. They don't use him too often, so it doesn't get dull too quickly. And him now partnering up with Carmella, I just like it. I like what they've done, and I think Carmella has turned face right now while working with RTruth. That will probably change once the Mixed Match Challenge is over, but I'm really enjoying this. I thought it was fun. They asked some really cool questions, and even during the interview, you could tell RTruth had not a clue what the words meant, what he was saying, but Daniel Bryan explained it, which was fun. The Miz came out saying, "What are you doing?" Truth went, "Well, I defeated you a couple of weeks ago, and if you had a championship, I would be champion, so you don't, so I took the show." And the Miz went mental, went to GM Paige and said, "You've got to cancel the Truth Show because he's just stealing my Miz TV time." And Paige just went, "If you want the show back, you're gonna have to wrestle RTruth." I thought this was great. It really did focus more on the Miz and Daniel Bryan story, and that's fine. And they really did focus also on the win. So if you win, you become the new #1 contender for the WWE title, which is great. I really want to see how that evolves. So I think this was a really strong segment. I think RTruth did a great job. I think Carmella's fantastic as well, working with RTruth. I think she's a lot more likable right now. And Daniel Bryan and the Miz really kept the focus points on them and the focus of the Super Showdown. So for me, I'm going to give this a solid 7 out of 10. Just watch it for the RTruth dancing. I think that's just great. This moved us on to our first match of the night, which was RTruth taking on the Miz. And this was a much better match than what we got in the couple of weeks back when RTruth and the Miz were main eventing. I think this was a lot more fun, and you can tell RTruth is a wacky kind of character in ring as well as out of the ring, and it just really did sell. He wasn't too wacky. He really got serious when he needed to. Carmella was actually useful, which was great. She didn't interfere with the match too much. She just stopped the Miz running away, which was great. And this really was a solid match. You had Daniel Bryan on commentating, where he was talking to Corey Graves and go, "Corey, I understand where you're coming from. You're a Miz fan, and that's why you kind of skip reality a lot and time." And this is great. The Miz wasn't always in control. It allowed RTruth to look strong as well, which you want to see. I don't want RTruth to just get beaten badly, and he didn't. He did lose, which was fine. Obviously, they want to make the Miz look as strong as possible, but having RTruth really push the Miz to his limit was fun as well. The Miz did win with Daniel Bryan's own finisher, which was an indication to the Super Showdown. Like I keep saying, they really did focus on that, but they didn't take away too much focus away from RTruth too much. So that was fine. For me, the match itself was better than what we got a couple of weeks ago, so I am going to give this another 7 out of 10. I really, really did enjoy it. The next match we got was another singles match, but this was Big E, and he had Kofi Kinston and Xavier Woods in his corner versus Sheamus, who had Cesaro in his corner. And it was a decent match. I really didn't think this was the best match these two have had ever, against each other, but I think this was strong enough to continue telling the storyline between the New Day and the Bar, and it makes the Bar look strong because Sheamus did get the victory. And that's what you want to see. You want us, even though you know now that the Bar have won 2 matches on the road, that kind of indicates where they're going to take this. You kind of see that the New Day most likely will hold the titles after Super Showdown. But it allows the Bar to have as much momentum they possibly need for carrying on. Because let's be honest, who wouldn't want to see this rivalry continue? I think the promos have been excellent. The bar are none. They don't care about promos. That's literally what they stated in this promo before they started the match, was we don't care about promos. We don't care about the stupidness. That's what you lot care about. We just care about fighting. And a lot of the crowd did agree with that. The New Day obviously are super over, and the fans really enjoyed everything they were doing outside the ring. But yeah, not the best match between Sheamus and Big E, but like I said, it continues what it needs to do for this rivalry going into the Super Showdown. So for me, I'm going to give it another 7 out of 10 because it is worth watching, mainly because Sheamus and Cesaro have great chemistry, and I can't wait to see them actually have a proper tag team match against the New Day, because I think they could really probably steal the show at Super Showdown. Next up, we had probably what could have been the most talked about segment if the main event of SmackDown Live didn't happen like it did. And this was Aiden English coming out to pretty much explain himself. Why did he attack Rusev? Why? Well, we all know why. He was getting jealous of Lana and Rusev kind of pushing him out of the way. And he thought, hold on, I created Rusev Day. Why am I being pushed out? And that's legitimately what he said. Rusev called him out. The fans were chanting, Rusev Day, Rusev Day. Great. Loved that. Fantastic. You can tell they're doing the Rusev babyface thing soon. It's going to happen. He's turning slowly and slowly because he's getting more into working with a crowd. It's going to happen. Aiden's the heel. Rusev's the babyface. We kind of worked this bit out already. Aiden comes out and pretty much shows a few clips from Aiden English and Rusev working together all the way from when Rusev Day was born to WrestleMania and so on. And then it showed a clips of Lana getting involved and where Rusev started to lose a lot more. And obviously these are being dockered to make Lana look like more of the reason why. But Rusev Day was losing quite a lot before that, so it didn't. But it's just how the editing was. I thought these were really good clips. But obviously Aiden explained his situation. He said, look, I was there, I supported you, she wasn't there, and now she came in and all this lot. And then he turned it, and this is the best bit, he turned it on Lana, and I really enjoyed this, because he just went, well, if you're so truthful and all this lot to Lana, because he put all his effort into saying, look, Lana's the reason I turned on you. And he stated, well, if you're so truthful, Lana, why don't you tell him what happened in Milwaukee? And Lana was like, what? And Rusev looked at him and it was just like, that was like, everyone started chanting it. It was fantastic. And he just walked away. That was brilliant. I like this. I can't wait to see how this ends. Obviously, Rusev versus Aiden English is how it's going to end. But what could it be? What happened that night? I want to find out. I'm really excited. So with that in mind, I've got to give this promo an 8 out of 10 because it is entertaining, worth watching, full stop. Next up, we got a tag team match where we saw Naomi and Asuka teaming up to take on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville with the Iconics on commentating. Oh god, that was annoying as hell having those two on commentating because it was bad. I get it, their gimmick is to be annoying and they do it perfectly. It's a great heel concept and I can see where WWE go with it. I see why they like to use it. But for majority of us, it's kind of like, it just gets a bit irritating after a while. The match itself was nothing. It wasn't anything to really. Again, they're trying to promote this Super Showdown match, tag team match, where we see the Iconics taking on Naomi and Asuka. It really isn't getting the match fired up. You talk to a lot of WWE fans, they're not that interested in it. It's kind of like, oh, alright, so this is the match. Okay. But it just feels like this match just didn't need to be on the show. It felt like it was forced just to advertise the one match. And the match itself was boring. I hate to see this again, but you see where Asuka was getting completely dominated by two heels who are they haven't been prominent heels on the show for quite some time. Somehow being able to dominate Asuka, who only 12 months ago was destroying Raw, and now is getting completely devastated. And I think they were trying to build up a hot tag, and it didn't work. Obviously, you saw it. Naomi tagged in, and the crowd usually, when it's a really good and well done tag team match, once one tags in and it's a hot tag, the crowd go mental. People cheered, but it wasn't explosive like you expect it for a hot tag like that, and it just failed on that. Asuka did get the pinfall, which again, and nothing happened after the match to make the Iconics feel even more like a threat. I thought they would have jumped Naomi and Asuka after the match to show, these two being quite dominant, but they didn't even try and do that. So for me, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. If you like Asuka and Naomi working together, that's great. I don't blame you guys. But for me, it's just not working for me right now. Next up, we had Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Ty Dillinger. Now, Ty Dillinger was on SmackDown Live. I'm happy. I am happy because the guy needs opportunities, and I think this is what they tried to tell. It was an interesting one. So Ty really was dominant during the match. Throughout the match, actually, Shinsuke didn't really get too much offense into it. Ty just showing he's desperate for an opportunity, any opportunity, and this really worked. I think this sold really well for Ty Dillinger's character. Someone who realizes he's not even a top mid-carder. He's probably one of the mid-carders on SmackDown Live. And this match really did something for him. I think it gave him a little bit of a boost, and it could lead up to something really special. Reason is, Ty did win the match. He lost by DQ because Randy Orton got involved. Randy got involved and destroyed Ty Dillinger. Absolutely wrecked him, and he pointed up 2 fingers and said number 2. Now everyone's going, oh, Ty's the second victim. He's got to be the second. And I was like, no, this is a work. It's going to be Shinsuke who's number 2. Shinsuke is going to be the second victim, because twice now Shinsuke's opponents have been taken out by Randy Orton. First was Jeff Hardy when he was chasing him, and Jeff turned his attention onto Randy Orton. Now Ty Dillinger, another opponent for Shinsuke Nakamura, who was very close to winning that match, who technically did win that match, gets taken out by Randy Orton. Shinsuke does take out Ty after he's been absolutely beaten, showing Shinsuke is still a heel. But afterwards there was a backstage interview with Randy Orton. And they asked him, why did you attack Ty? And he just goes, I'm just sick of that perfect 10 thing gimmick. And that was it. And he walked off, and they were like, is he the second victim? And he just said, no, I'm just sick of the perfect 10 gimmick. That's it. That's the only reason he's tagged. I like this. The match wasn't anything special, but hopefully it gives Ty Dillinger a shot in the arm, maybe give him some momentum. So I'm hoping for that. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because it was entertaining when Randy was beating the crap out of Ty. I hate to say it. Sorry, Ty. I do like you as a wrestler. I think you're really talented. Next up, we had Becky Lynch versus Lana, and this all started because Becky heard Milwaukee. She went, oh, there's a fun town, innit? And Lana gave Becky attitude, and Becky just went, right, I'm the champ, you show me no respect, I'm going to take you out to the ring and pretty much say, you're the weakest wrestler in the women's division on SmackDown. Totally agree with what Becky just said. And how was the match? Match was awful. It was sloppy, but it's Lana. She's still not ring ready, in my opinion. But she did what she needed to do, and it looked like she was going to get a quick victory over Becky Lynch, a shocked victory, but that didn't happen. Becky obviously upped the gear, beat the crap out of Lana, got a quick victory, and that was it. She put her in the disarmer. Lana tapped out. But for me, this is just showing the attitude of our current SmackDown Women's Champion. Is she a heel? I think this is moving her more towards the heel factor than more into the babyface. I know there's a lot of people say, oh, she's already a heel, and I can't say that too much. Yes, there is a backstage segment where she did beat the crap out of Charlotte, but that's because Charlotte and Becky still have this feud going on towards the Super Showdown. And I think it's just to write Charlotte out of this week's episode of SmackDown Live, having Becky attack her at a photo shoot. So for that itself, it gets a 4 out of 10. It just shows the dominance of our current SmackDown Live champion. So I really, really I like the new attitude of Becky Lynch, and having Lana actually have a match as well as all this going on, really great. So, yeah, 4 out of 10. Last but not least, the main event, and my god, this was perfect. Now, this was meant to be a contract signing between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Now, usually on these contract signings, both competitors come out, sign the contract, we get a fight. We didn't get that this week. So AJ comes out to sign the contract, Paige calls out Samoa Joe, AJ's expecting Joe to attack him from behind. Joe turns up on the big screen, not in SmackDown Live this week, he's at AJ's home. Oh my god, this was beyond creepy and tense. This was fantastic. I really loved this segment. Joe's just on his iPhone talking to AJ and Paige. AJ's begging Joe not to do anything. Don't do anything. It just works brilliant. He even brings a toy for AJ's daughter. Really creepy. He's like, I brought Wendy and the kids a toy. I was like, oh my god, this was beyond creepy. And then he rings the doorbell and goes, Daddy's home. And that's it, it cuts. It's not even, we don't even get the WWE logo or anything. It just cuts. And that's it. I was like, oh my god, is that how it ends? Is that how I actually thought my recorder stopped recording at the wrong time and it's just stopped. But no, that's literally when it stopped airing. I was like, oh my god, perfect way to. This is definitely the best climax. This has got to be the final bullet for the mind games for AJ and Samoa Joe. If Joe doesn't win at Super Showdown, this has been one of the best rivalries in a long time. But I really do hope it's just AJ loses the belt now, just because I want to see a psychotic Samoa Joe holding this title, playing mind games. Because I think that's the logical thing now. It is logical that AJ has to get a way to getting his title back with Samoa Joe now. Just all these mind games in the back of his head. Do I go after Joe? Do I not? Because he's been to my home. This is exciting. Really good way to end the show. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 because it was a really strong segment. But could this be the climax of the AJ Samoa Joe feud? Most likely. But I enjoyed every second of this last segment. It literally terrified me, and that's what you want to see in these type of segments. So I loved it. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live for this week. How did you find it? It wasn't as strong as other episodes, but the segments which were strong were very strong. The Aiden English Rusev stuff is brilliantly put together. The AJ Styles Samoa Joe segment, brilliant beyond belief. If that didn't happen, the AJ Samoa Joe, we'd be talking about the Aiden English segment. That's how good both segments really were. The matches themselves, just nothing too much. The RTruth and Miz one was, for me, for my money, probably one of the better matches of the night. The Becky Lynch Lana was probably the worst match of the night. But I can't really say too much about anything because it's all building up to Super Showdown. So for me, I'm going to give everything a final score, and I'm going to give this week's episode of SmackDown Live a 7 out of 10. It's worth watching just for the segments alone, so if you want to skip the matches, I could understand. There's not too much to see on those, apart from probably the Randy Orton, Ty Dillinger, and RTruth and The Miz. But definitely check out the promo segments because those are the best bits of this week's episode. So what about you guys? What did you enjoy about SmackDown Live this week? Leave it in the comments below. And if you do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and press the bell to keep notified to all our great videos here on Smack Talk Wrestling. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. Bye.